Welcome back. We've finished our character, scores are locked in place, and now it's time to learn how to play the world of Synnibarr3ed. We've mentioned a lot of terms and we haven't explained them, save for protection factors. And that is simply because you will learn how to apply all of these as we go. In this particular instance, I'm going to play Fate. So, we shall begin. Our scene opens with Jimmy Chicago standing before a rotting rope bridge that stretches to Cragmont. The target number required to cross is 90 or better. Jimmy has to roll using his agility skill, which, as we know, is a +10. Jimmy makes the crossing, knowing that if he fails, he will die. 61. +10 is 71. Doesn't make the 90. And Jimmy falls to his death. But that's not Synnibarr3ed. In this new version of the game, we can apply effort. Every constitution point he burns adds +5 to a dice roll. For this second, Jimmy can burn his entire con gate, which is 5. 5 times 5 equals 25. Added to the 10 is 35. And added to the 61 makes 96, and just what he needs to make the crossing safely. Once safely across the bridge, Jimmy encounters a gate. He has to lift this. It weighs 1,600 kilograms, Fate informs him. Jimmy can lift just under 500 kilograms. In order to lift this gate, once again, he's going to have to apply effort, and that means burning Constitution. For force, we burn Constitution as a multiplier. So he burns 4 con points times his 41 force for 164. He can lift 10 times that in kilograms. Now, Jimmy can lift the gate. Once through the gate, Jimmy releases it and it slams hard to the ground and there's a calamity. A rock falls from above. So we roll the rock shot. And the rock gets a 73. Jimmy has to roll a 73 or better. As we know, he has a +34 on block. So, Fate says, "Do you want to burn any con?" Jimmy says, "No, I'll just take a chance and make the roll without burning energy." And he rolls a 40 and barely squeaks by, blocking the rock. The rock itself does whatever its damage and weight is, weighs a kilogram, it'll do 10 points of damage to his vambrace that he puts up for a block. The interplay between shots and fate is always the same. You roll a shot, and the person has to roll a fate that meets it or exceeds it. That's the way it works. The defenders always win ties. Once past the falling rock, fate details to Jimmy that there's a path that leads forward. Jimmy asks if he can have a sight roll. The referee says, of course. To detect traps, it's got to be a 60 or better. Jimmy has a +10, and the referee asks him if he wants to burn any energy. So he's conservative and burns 2 con points, adding another 10 to his +10 for a +20. Rolls the dice. Ooh. Gets a 27 altogether. Not good enough to detect any traps. Fate says, "You don't see anything. What do you do?" After failing the sight roll, we give the PC another chance with something that we call surprise reaction. In the case of surprise reaction, you cannot burn con into the dice roll. If you fail the surprise reaction, you receive no fate roll versus the attack. The target number for surprise reaction is 60 or better, like all generally starting target numbers are. He rolls a 10 plus his 10 on surprise reaction and is absolutely surprised by the trap. So here's how we do damage in the new Synnibarr3ed. We don't roll random damages. The trap does a flat 400 points of damage. It hits him. However, the steel arrowheads bypass 5 protection factors, so we subtract 5 from the 12.5, leaving 7.5. Now when he gets hit, we divide the 400 points by 7.5, and we get a total of 53.3 life points. That's how we do damage. Damage is divided by the armor. Now that our character's taken damage, we subtract the 53.3 and get 246.6 life points remaining. Important side note, once you reduce a character's life points a certain amount, they start losing some of their stats. We don't have a glass cannon effect in this. Now we come to the point where I get to describe my favorite new part of the game, cogency. The formula is Constitution times merit equals cogency. Jimmy Chicago is going to fire a hex bolt at a bird flying overhead, see if he can hit it. From our character sheet, we saw that Jimmy Chicago has 85 merit in his hex bolt. One Constitution point into that hex bolt will do 85 points of damage. Or if it were a shield, it would block 85 points of damage. Before Jimmy takes his shot, Fate informs him that the range to the bird is just under 100 meters up, and he will have a range reduction of minus 50 on that shot roll. Even with a range reduction of 50, Jimmy knows that he gets a plus 20 on the beam attack, and 20 plus 22 equals 42. He rolls the dice, gets a 50. Well, 50 minus 50 plus 42 works out to a 42, and plenty to hit the bird. The hex bolt allows us to explain a couple other things, including a character's meta rate. The metaphysical rating is how much mystic damage a character can hit before they succumb. Say you wanted to do a hypnosis spell. You do the Constitution times the merit of hypnosis spell, and the cogency would have to exceed a percentage of the character's meta rate. It might be 50%, might be 100% in the case of will force. In the case of stun, it might only be 10%. Some spells, like the Hex Bolt, will actually reduce your meta rate just like they do with life points. The character simply says, I want to reduce the meta rate on this attack. If you beat the 10% rate, then you could stun something with the Hex Bolt. Another thing about the meta rate and weight of character, the meta rate is used for determining hypnosis and will force type effects. The weight of a character can be used for disintegrations or levitations, telekinesis, things of that nature. Usually 1 point of cogency affects between 1 and 10 kilograms, but this depends upon the effect. In general, the cogency must meet or exceed the weight, and that's after it goes through the protection factors when it comes for levitating something. The protection factors always apply even to metaphysical damage. With what you have learned, I can start describing combat. We begin by rolling advantage on a d10. The highest number goes first. The winner of advantage always receives an extra action on the very first second. Advantage is rolled once every turn or 3 seconds, and all characters involved take an action in order of advantage from the highest to the lowest. Characters' actions may be to take a shot or perform some other incidental task, and these are all well defined. It's a character's turn, they'll target something and take a shot roll. Then the target will, or defender if it's alive, will get a fate roll, and then we do the resolution through the protection factors, how much damage they take, things of that nature. Unless there's shields involved, and then we deal with those as well. This sequence of events is used for characters with 1 action per second. Start off with advantage, move through the seconds, every character takes this action, and then we are complete. There are exceptions, and this is when characters have multiple attacks a second. Characters can get up to 5 actions per second. And in that instance, 1 second gets split up into 5 segments. Of course, the winner of advantage always gets a free action and would be on segment 5. Even if they only had 1 action, and then they might go on the first segment of that second. So we start off with 5 actions per turn, starts at 5, then we go down to 4 segments, and then 3, 2, 1. So if you got 5 actions, you take an attack on 5, take an attack on 4, take an attack on 3, take an attack on 2, take an attack on 1. And if you have 2 actions per second, you'd go on 2 and 1, 3, 3 and you don't. That's how we work going high-speed combat, where characters get multiple actions per second. Counting down, we make an accordion of the second, and then we go down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we cross over the second. Everybody congates up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, congate up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we roll advantage again. That's how it works for even really fast characters. One of the last topics I'm going to go over, if not the last topic, is willpower. Now, willpower comes along with your constitution. Every 25 con points, you get 1 willpower. Our character starts with 50 con points, they get 2 willpower. Willpower bypasses the con gate. When you've got a dice roll that you need to make, you can tap your willpower. Each willpower point is worth 5 constitution points. Bypasses the gate. You could have 100 willpower and blow it all at once if you needed to. That's what it's all about. And that is one of the last modifiers of the game as far as dice rolls are concerned. So with all of this, you've got what you need to start playing the new World of Synnibarr 3ED. I hope this video has been helpful and that it covers the topics that you need. The books are available on DriveThruRPG, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. And if you have any real questions, you can contact me at Synnibarr3ed@gmail.com. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Raven McCracken, the creator of the World of Synnibarr. See you soon, and hope you make your fate rolls.